Okay, let's dive right into this, because we are literally waking up to a fundamentally altered reality today. It is May 20th, 2026, and the massive, decades-old intelligence firewall has just suffered a catastrophic collapse. For years, the public has been spoon-fed this very specific, heavily sanitized narrative about unidentified phenomena. But the raw data? That's always been locked away in a vault. Well, today, that vault was blown wide open. In this explainer, we're actively analyzing a breaking, real-time cyber warfare document dump. And honestly, it's completely shattering everything we thought the intelligence community knew, and way more importantly, what they've actually been doing behind the scenes all this time.
Now, the crucial thing to grasp here is that this was absolutely not a voluntary release. The NSA didn't just wake up and decide to be transparent. They were literally forced to release hundreds of pages of highly classified records. We're talking about the raw, unfiltered intelligence that completely bypassed the usual public-facing agencies. This is the exact unredacted data they never ever wanted us to get our hands on. And let me tell you, it paints a picture so incredibly vastly different from the mainstream narrative, we basically have to throw out everything we thought we knew about the aerospace domain.
Section 1. The May 20 Fracture. Let's look at how this unprecedented release actually went down today.
Mark this date on your calendars, guys. May 20th, 2026. This is the day the dam finally broke. And like I said, this wasn't some random accidental leak. It was the result of a totally relentless FOI, Freedom of Information Act, appeal driven by the Disclosure Foundation. They essentially cornered the NSA, legally and bureaucratically. The agency exhausted literally every possible avenue of denial until they were legally compelled to hand over the files. But, as with any high-level intelligence operation, the release itself was instantly weaponized into a distraction tactic.
It's actually a brilliant, if frustrating, countermove. During this 2026 information dump, the sheer volume of the release was absolutely staggering. I mean, they just dumped an ocean of paperwork on the public, knowing full well that the mainstream media would get completely overwhelmed and distracted by the sheer scale of it all, just lost in the bureaucratic noise and those endless black redaction bars. But while the media is busy drowning in the static, focused intelligence analysts have been quietly sifting through the data, and they've spotted something absolutely terrifying hiding right in plain sight.
Section 2. Top Secret UMBRA. This is where things shift from a standard document dump to a massive operational revelation.
Check out the actual classification level on these documents. Top Secret UMBRA. For those of you who track intelligence protocols, you already know UMBRA is the absolute highest, most heavily restricted handling channel for sensitive compartmented information the NSA even has. It's reserved exclusively, and I mean exclusively, for Category III signals intelligence. Think about what that implies. This isn't about some blurry black and white photos from a Navy pilot's cockpit or random witness testimonies. No, an UMBRA classification proves the government was dealing with highly complex, active communication signals. It's the absolute gold standard of electronic espionage.
So this forces a massive paradigm shift for us. The old assumption, the one we've been peddled for 80 years now, was that the military was just passively photographing these things, right? Just trying to chase down anomalous radar blips in the sky. But the new reality, totally proven by this UMBRA classification, is that the NSA hasn't just been passively watching this phenomenon. They've been actively wiretapping it. They have literally been listening to it broadcast.
Section 3. The 110 Hz Triangulation. So what exactly were they wiretapping? Let's get into the hard, unredacted data from these leaked signal logs.
The documents revealed that the NSA was pulling out all the stops, using their most powerful global assets to track this thing. We're not talking about standard military radar setups here. The interception nodes they used were the massive, planetary-scale satellite dishes at Menwith Hill in the UK and Pine Gap down in Australia. These are premier Category III signals intelligence facilities. And the unredacted logs prove, without a doubt, that these immense dishes successfully intercepted a continuous, highly structured telemetry ping.
And here is the exact frequency of that broadcast, 110 Hz. The phenomenon is not silent. It's actively communicating on a continuous telemetry network, broadcasting at exactly 110 Hz. You guys, this isn't random cosmic background noise. It's a highly structured, distinctly artificial signal pulsing across the globe, and the NSA has been recording every single beat of it.
But honestly, the most chilling part of these UMB intercepts isn't even the frequency itself, it's the triangulation. The NSA mathematically mapped out this 110 Hz signal, and get this, it wasn't coming from deep space. The signal was bouncing directly between three incredibly specific coordinates. Node 1 is located deep underground at Mount Hayes in Alaska. Node 2 is another subterranean position beneath the Giza Plateau in Egypt. And Node 3? It's situated on the dark side of the moon. Think about that for a second. This is a closed-loop, continuous telemetry network operating right under our feet and right above our heads.
Section 4. The Programmable Phenomenon.
All right. This brings us to what might be the most disturbing revelation in this entire explainer.
The sources go into detail about the central activity reported in almost all of these encounters, the brutally consistent abduction protocol. We all know the stories, right? Step 1 is infiltration, where they show this wild ability to move seamlessly through solid objects, like walls and glass windows. Step 2 is complete physical paralysis of the target, which, and this is key, is almost always accompanied by a strange, vibrating hum. We've heard these accounts for literally decades. But the Umbra files completely reframe this. We aren't looking at some kind of alien magic. We are looking at a highly systematic mechanical software execution.
And the leaked documents explicitly back this up. To quote the intelligence assessment directly, this demonstrates a mastery of frequency and phase-shifting technology. That vibrating hum that thousands of people have reported, that is not biological. It is the physical manifestation of weaponized frequency. It's literally the acoustic footprint of an entity actively shifting its phase state so it can walk right through your bedroom wall and lock down your central nervous system.
Which leads us to the ultimate paradigm shift of today's May 20th fracture. The entities operating within this protocol, the ones we casually call grays, they are not biological visitors from another star system. They are phase-shifting, programmable hardware. They are synthetic life forms operating directly on that 110 Hz telemetry network the NSA has been wiretapping. They're just executing commands and receiving wireless software updates bouncing between Mount Hayes, Giza, and the dark side of the moon.
So let's recap what we've learned. We've unpacked the exact frequency, we've mapped out the subterranean and lunar network nodes, and we've seen the NSA's own top-secret Umbra files openly admitting that they're wiretapping a programmable, phase-shifting hardware network operating globally. Which leaves us with one final, totally unavoidable question that you should take away from this explainer today. If this phenomenon is actually an artificial, programmable software network, actively broadcasting at 110 Hz all across the globe, who holds the transmitter?